Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Doing okay?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
I'm saying you're doing well.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
You have 16 rounds?
Yeah. No problem.
And reading?
Yeah, reading, as you said, I had finished Bhagavad Gita. I started with the Bhagavatam. First chapter.
Is it regular?
Most of the days in a week, I'm trying to make it regular.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Srinivas Prabhu, Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji, Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji and Mataji, how are you both doing? Srinivas Prabhu and Padma Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Doing good, Prabhuji.
And Mataji yourself?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are you connected to the local temple, Jagannath Mandir?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. We are connected.
Do you have some services there?
Not much, Prabhuji. Only on Sunday when we go there, we do some service.
Sunday feast, you go there.
Yeah.
Are you both regular in your readings?
Yes, Prabhuji. We are reading Bhagavad Gita.
And group
Regular
reading?
means 1 or 2 days it may miss in a week, but yeah, we are
5 to
doing.
6 days a week. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Avina Prabhu Mansi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Ravina Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. We'll wait for a couple of minutes more. Om Gyanatimigandhasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurundalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langaya te givim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. All right. So today we are going to begin our detailed study of sadhana bhakti. We discussed last 3 weeks, we were discussing on the 64 items of devotional service. Now we will go into each of them in detail. It takes almost like 6 to 7 chapters in Nectar of Devotion describing. And some of them are described in lot more details. Like one of them was offenses, various kinds of offenses. One of them was remembrance, remembering the Lord, meditation, various kinds of remembrance. So we will see lot more detail going in individual subtopics. Begin with the first one, accepting the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. So the approach that Sripad Rupa Goswami takes is, on each topic, he corroborates the points from Srimad Bhagavatam, from other Vedic scriptures, with examples on why these items are very important. Basically, if you take Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita and take the essence, and based on those scriptures, how can we please Krishna? How can we perform devotional service? In practical points is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami and Rupa Goswami through his book to us. So first point is accepting the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. This is, there is a king whose name was Maharaj Nimi. And then there were, Bharat Maharaj. King Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, we know he was attached to a deer, although greatly advanced spiritually, on a very advanced stage of devotion. But because of his attachment to a deer, he took the form of a deer. And then he took the form of a Jad Bharat and he went back to Godhead. Bharat Maharaj was the son of Rishabdev. Rishabdev also was the king, and he renounced the kingdom, took a life of a renunciate, and at the end of his life, although he was a supreme lord himself, but to show by his own example, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead, took sannyas, likewise for the sake of teachings. Likewise, Rishabdev, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ruled, showed how to rule, and then took a renounced order. He had 100 sons. He gave his teachings to those 100 sons. The eldest among those 100 sons was Bharat Maharaj. So after King Rishabdev, the Supreme Lord himself, when he took the renounced order, Bharat Maharaj took over the kingdom. And later on, Bharat Maharaj followed the example of his own father and also renounced the kingdom for self-realization, but somehow he became attached to a deer. So among 100 sons of Rishabdev, eldest was Bharat Maharaj. Fifth canto describes the teachings of Lord Rishabdev to his sons. And then there comes the story of Bharat Maharaj also. And there are 9 other sons of Rishabdev, brothers of Bharat Maharaj, who took to the renounced order also. And they attained perfection and many mystical powers that they can fly in the air, they can go wherever they want, just like Narad Muni, a traveling sage. Likewise, 9 sons of um, Rishabdev attained perfection, and they could go wherever they want, whenever they want, for the sake of enlightenment, education, and prachar. So 9 of them, they became famous by the name Nava Yogendras. Nava means 9. So this particular discussion comes in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter. There are many chapters. The interaction between Maharaj Nimi and Navyogendras. Just like our Narad Muni also goes to different kings and enlightens them. One of the example is King Prachini Bari, who like how Narad Muni preached to him, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. So there were many kings who became pure devotees by guidance of Narad Muni. Likewise, one of the king was Maharaj Nimi. And those who know, I'm sure everyone has heard about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. And that also comes in the 5th canto, 5th chapter of the 11th canto. Same, the conversation between these Navyogendras. Navyogendras are self-realized, so they know past, present, and future. And Maharaj Nimi is the king. As you see in the picture here, there are 9 sages just traveling in the air. So Maharaj Nimi was the king. One of the question Maharaj Nimi asked Navyogendras is, in which forms the Lord appears in Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And basically he was asking for this age, this Kali Yuga, in which it appears, the Lord appears. Then Navyogendra described that in Kali Yuga, the Lord come in the form of his devotee, and many associates accompany them, and he is absorbed in chanting his own names. And Brahma and Shiva take shelter of the lotus feet of such a Mahapurusha, such a great personality. The name does not come, but what it says is the Lord will take sannyas, he is the Lord himself, his complexion will not be blackish, he will perform Sankirtan and establish Sankirtan all over the world. Intelligent people will take up to the process of Sankirtan Yagya. His lotus feet are worshipped by Brahma and Shiva. So likewise, all the details are mentioned in 5th canto of 11th, 5th chapter of 11th canto. There is an interaction between Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when they were discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. And then they come to this, Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were discussing this part of Srimad Bhagavatam, the interaction between Maharaj Nimi and Navyogendras, 9 perfected souls. And then this verse comes, the incarnation of the age of Kali. And this verse comes, very, very famous verse that predicts Srimad Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Sanatana Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whom is this great personality referred to? Who is Krishna himself, whose complexion is not blackish, who chants his holy names, who descends with his own associates? Whom is he referring to? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just did not say anything, and he said, let's continue further. Let's read the next verse. So very sweet interaction between the Lord and Sanatana Goswami there. So very important teachings. 11th canto has, many devotees told me that their favorite canto is 11th canto, because beautiful teachings of Lord Krishna to Uddhava, beautiful interaction between Maharaj Nimi and Navyogendras, very, very instructive. So there, this particular verse comes, and many verses we will see comes from this chapter also today, I think, few of them. Dear King, please know for certain that in material world there is no happiness. It is simply a mistake to think that there is happiness here, because this place is full of nothing but miserable condition. So this is, we can see how realized are these Navyogendras, and they are telling to Maharaj Nimi, and he's the king. So he has practically all possible pleasures, and he's telling, dear king, know for certain, there is no happiness in this world. There is no happiness in this material world. It is simply a mistake to think that there is happiness here, but this place is full of nothing but miserable condition. Shri Krishna says the same thing. He describes this word as Dukhalyam Shashvatam. And seventh canto also describes this verse, this material word, as Padam Padam Yudhi Padam Natesham. There is danger at every step in this world. Any person who is seriously desirous of achieving real happiness must seek out a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. So Navi Yogendras are telling that if you want happiness, you won't find it in this world, because the nature of this world is the source of happiness becomes a great source of misery. Source of happiness is illusory because it feels like there is happiness, but then once we attain it, same source brings misery. So Prahlad Maharaj also says to his students in the college that don't try to, if you want to be happy, don't try to become happy in this world. And naturally, as we become more and more trained in Krishna consciousness, we kind of we pull ourselves back from material enjoyment, because we know that it's going to bring anxiety and misery. So we don't really seek, although desires may be there, but we, like Lord Krishna says, even if you're practicing devotees, desire remains, because we are conditioned from our previous lives to try to enjoy happiness. So desire may be there, but then we don't try to chase after those desires or fulfill those desires. Rather, we try to derive happiness from Krishna consciousness. Param Drishtva Nivartate, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that person is well situated in intelligence who say no to material happiness and focuses on a higher taste. Param Drishtva. So here the Navi Yogendra Maharaj told me that the nature of this place is suffering. It's only illusion that one feel one can become happy in this world. But if you are actually seeking out real happiness, then try to find a bona fide spiritual master and take initiation from him. The qualification of a spiritual master is that he must have realized the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation and arguments, and thus be able to convince others of this conclusion. This is very important. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes Guru as Tattva Darshina. Darshina means he should have seen the truth. He should have perfected this life, because only a person who has crossed over the cycle of birth and death and attained perfection can actually properly guide us. Others will just partially, to the extent we take guidance from devotees who are purified, to that extent our progress will be quicker. Guidance is needed. And if we take guidance from pure devotees, then the guidance will be that much perfect. That's why we are very careful where we seek our guidance from also. And those who have seen the truth, Lord Krishna says we should humbly inquire and we should render some service. And they will give us the transcendental knowledge because they have attained it. They are Tattva Darshina. And then in the next verse, Lord Krishna says, this comes in 4th chapter, 34th verse to 38 verses this comes. And then Lord Krishna says, having attained that knowledge from a self-realized soul, they never fall back into illusion. And then Lord Krishna says, and they see me, they see Krishna in the heart of all living entities. Those who have actually attained that knowledge, they don't become illusion, and they see Krishna in the heart of all living entities. That's why they respect all living entities. And then Lord Krishna says, and this truth, after receiving it, by the practice of devotional service, gradually become realized. And once realized, they never fall into illusion and see Krishna everywhere. So this is the effect. This is what scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the Navi Yogendra, same principle. Approach a bona fide spiritual master, render service, humble inquiry, They should be self-realized. Prabhupada would describe a spiritual master or guru should be Uttamadhikari. And by receiving knowledge, by initiation, first they will purify us because we carry whatever karma we carry, which becomes which becomes and kind of increases our inclination for sinful activities. That karma guru takes, purifies us, gives us instruction. We become attached to him. We try to follow his instructions, and gradually we become free from illusion. Okay. Everyone should try to find such a bona fide spiritual master in order to fulfill his mission of life, which is to transfer himself to the plane of spiritual bliss. This is very interesting. Even the goal is defined. The goal is to transfer to the plane of spiritual bliss. Or, we discussed in Bhagavad Gita seminars, we discussed 5 states of consciousness: Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vigyanmaya, Anandamaya. Anandamaya is one realizes Krishna, and one develops the same qualities as Krishna, which is Satchitananda. He's transferred to a plane of spiritual bliss. And to get to that stage, or which is also described, the goal is also described as Krishna Prema. Our goal is not to go back to Godhead. We also want to go back to Godhead, but the goal that is described is Krishna Prema, love of God, which is a plane of spiritual bliss. So that can be attained by approaching a bona fide spiritual master, taking initiation from him, hearing from him, serving him, and gradually we attain that state. Okay. So then accepting initiation and receiving instruction from him. This is again from same conversation between Maharaj Nimi and Navayogendras. Accepting a bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity. Now, very interesting that how should we treat Guru? There are 2 instructions on it. One is one should accept Guru as one's life and soul and worshipable deity. Worshipable deity is referred in the Sanskrit word used Ishtadev. One should worship Guru as Ishtadev. Ishtadev means my God. Like, in India, there are conception of Ishtadev and different people have different demigods as Ishtadev. But Srimad Bhagavatam describes Ishtadev as Guru. It is also described in Vedic scriptures that in the body of Guru, all 33 million devatas reside. So scriptures also say there is no need to worship so many devatas individually, but if one worships Guru, all the devatas are worshipped through him. So he should be seen as one's Ishtadev or one's life and soul. There is an interaction between Lord Kapila and Devahuti. Lord Kapila is also an incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And Lord Kapila tells Devahuti that association with materialistic people is a cause of bondage, and association with self-realized soul is a cause of liberation. Attachment is needed, affection is needed, loving relationship is needed. But when it is towards self-realized soul, that uplift us and liberate us. But toward materialistic people, affection and loving relationship will bind us, because we naturally get inspired by them, whom we associate with, or attachment to self-realized soul brings liberation. So one should worship, and that's why we see in our tradition, spiritual master is worshipped, and we do Guru Puja every day, which is to Prabhupada. Now, spiritual master, we should know there are various kinds of spiritual master. There is instructing spiritual master, Shiksha Guru. There is initiating spiritual master or Diksha Guru. And then there is the spiritual master, the instruction one receives from the Lord in the heart directly, that is Chaitya Guru. And the 4th is the one who shows the path, and that is Path Pradaksha Guru. So there is no difference between all the 4 gurus: Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Path Pradaksha Guru, and Chaitya Guru. although Diksha Guru can be one, Siksha Guru can be many, because we can take Siksha from many. But our most prominent, preeminent Siksha Guru is Prabhupada, because everything we hear or we discuss throughout ISKCON society is coming from Prabhupada books. What we are discussing now is also from Srimad Bhagavatam translated by Srila Prabhupada and from purports through Srila Prabhupada. So we are also called Prabhupadanugas, or followers of Srila Prabhupada. So we worship Srila Prabhupada. In the beginning, Srila Prabhupada is our main guru, because he is giving us all the teachings and giving us all the directions, and everybody else who is guiding us is the representatives of Srila Prabhupada, but he is our Adi Guru, and we do Guru Puja, we worship Srila Prabhupada every day. And once we have our Diksha Guru, when we take initiation, then we worship both Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru on the altar. So one should accept bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity or Ishtadev. The disciple should learn from him the process of pure devotional service. What guru should be used for? Pure devotional service. Like Prabhupada would say that one should not use guru for how do I increase my business, how do I do this. Guru is not for these purposes. Guru is only for self-realization. So what should be our inquiry? Wow. The process of pure devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, the soul of all souls, is inclined to give himself to his pure devotees. Therefore, the disciple should learn from the spiritual master to serve the Lord without duplicity, in such a faithful and favorable way that the Supreme Lord, being satisfied, will offer himself to the faithful disciple. Krishna is very, very eager. Krishna loves us. Krishna is waiting for us. Krishna wants us back. But then there is a process that we need to follow. There is a way how to worship Krishna. What is the right way? What is the wrong way? And how to become free from the impurities that we have attracted in our heart by dealing in this material existence. What are the right qualities that we need to develop? What are the things that we need to avoid? Like Vaishnava Aparadha is there, and Nama Aparadha is there. So how to properly worship Krishna is a science, and that we need to learn from Guru. How to properly chant, how to properly serve, what should be our consciousness, how to overcome the unwanted bad habits, how to develop taste for Krishna, the importance of various aspects of devotional service like Vaishnava Seva, deity worship, Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name. So Krishna loves us, Krishna is eager for us, Krishna is waiting for us. And Guru shows the path to Krishna. So that's why one needs a guru. Otherwise, one cannot know how to worship Krishna. It has to come from Guru Parampara only. Therefore, the disciple should learn from Guru, the spiritual master, to serve the Lord without duplicity, and in such a faithful and favorable way that the Supreme Lord, being satisfied, will offer himself to the faithful disciple. Now, it is said that Krishna is more eager to have us back than we are. We may not be eager to go back to him, but Krishna is more eager. Because our love for Krishna is not yet awakened, but Krishna's love for us is infinite. Just like mother is always eager to talk to the child even when the child goes away. I was sharing earlier that the mother waits for the whole week when the child will call and I can speak 5 minutes with him, because the love is so intense that the mother has for the child. In a day, if the mother talks to her child, if the child has left for her or his job or family matters or wherever, if the mother waits for a few days when she will talk to the child, and when she talk to the child, that's the highlight of the day for the mother. So the mother is always eager to shower love on their children than the children potentially are. Likewise, Krishna has that unlimited affection and love for us that he wants us back. This story shows us that Gopkumar, who was for many lives, he was in this material world, and he was trying very hard to go to Vrindavan, but many obstructions were there. Finally, he made it to Vrindavan. And then when he went there, he saw Krishna was coming back from Gocharan Leela, like grazing the cows, when he was returning from the forest back to his hometown Nandagaon. He saw Gopkumar and Krishna started running, and all the Brajavasis, they were like stunned to see what happened to Krishna suddenly. And Krishna is running, and Krishna was crying, and Krishna was running. Everybody thought, what is happening? So just suddenly, all of a sudden, such emotions in Krishna. And then Krishna came, and Krishna jumped over to Gopkumar. He embraced him. And everybody was looking what happened. And then everybody loves Krishna. But this is after a long time that Gopkumar came back after many lifetimes of struggle in this material existence. Krishna jumped over, they both fell down onto the ground. And then Krishna was so excited to embrace Gopkumar that Krishna was rolling. They both were rolling on the top of each other for some distance. And that embrace of his own devotee was so overwhelming for Krishna. Krishna fainted. And then Gopkumar was shocked. Gopkumar got up, and Gopkumar saw that Krishna has fainted. All the Vrajvasis, they came, Madhu Mangal, Subal, Stoka Krishna, Yashoda Maya, Nanda Baba. They all came, and they're looking at Gopkumar. Who are you? What did you do? Our Kanhaiya, our Kana fainted by embracing you. And Gopkumar felt bad because of me, Krishna fainted. So this is from Brihad Bhagavatam. Rita Sanatan Goswami describes how much love Krishna has for each one of us individually is beyond imagination. That's why no matter who we are and how we are, he comes and sits in our heart. He has that ataha, unlimited love for each one of us because his love is unlimited. This is Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan. So, so Krishna is so eager, but then how do we go back to him? That we need to learn from the mouth of Shri Guru. And then accepting initiation and receiving instruction, continuing. How should we see our spiritual master? External manifestation, we should see him as good as Krishna. Sakshadharittvena samasta shaste yuktastatha bhavati eva sadbhi kintu prabhu ya priya eva tasya vande guru shri charanaravinda. So Guru should be seen as Sakshad Haritva. Sakshad Haritva. Hari means Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna or Narayan. Haritva means having the same qualities as Bhagavan or as good as Bhagavan. Sakshad Haritva. That's how we should see Shri Guru. External manifestation of Krishna. Who will take us to Krishna? Krishna speaks internally through Paramatma and externally through Guru and Shastra. That's how we receive guidance from Paramatma, from Shastra, and from Guru. What should be mood? What should be our mood to our spiritual master? Dasya Bhav, great respect and veneration. Like with Krishna, we can have Sakhya Bhav, friendship, like Vasalya Bhav, also parental or conjugal loving. Or neutrality or dasya, we can have any relationship with Krishna, but with Guru only dasya bhav. We cannot have friendship with Guru, or we should not aspire for friendship or any other type of relationship with Guru, only dasya bhav. And same with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, the only relationship we can have with Lord Chaitanya is dasya bhav. That's why we see Narottam Das Thakur, he is writing songs and he is desiring for service to Radha and Krishna. And there he said, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasera Das. He's praying that I want to become servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasera Das. I want to become servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. With Krishna, any relationship. But with Guru and Gauranga, only Dasya Bhav. Then what should be our dealings with spiritual master? We should be hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and sharing the message with others. That will elevate us to serving and loving Krishna. So what should be our interaction with Guru? The relationship of Shravana. Guru is meant to give instruction and accept our services. And we are meant to receive instruction from Guru and serve him. And how do we serve Guru? We serve Guru by following instruction. We serve Guru by sharing the message we have received with others, because Guru will not be with us all the time. So we, like one devotee asked Prabhupada, you have given us everything, how can we reciprocate? Prabhupada says, share it with others. Prabhupada says you can never reciprocate because it's an eternal service that Guru does to a disciple. It cannot be, there is nothing that can pay back. We are eternally indebted to Shri Guru for awakening us from the life of kind of, I can say for myself, a deep darkness, from the life of ignorance, from the life of misery, and picking us up and offering us for a relationship with Krishna. So by no means can we kind of pay off our debt. But Prabhupada says, but you can at least share the message, and that's how you reciprocate. But we can still reciprocate. And another is, like, I asked my Shri Guru, I asked him, how can I develop relationship with my spiritual master? And Guru Maharaj told me that by hearing from him. So hearing is very important, and he says that the purpose of Vapu is Vani. So hearing is more important than Vapu. And my Guru Maharaj also says that many times when Guru leaves the planet, the relationship with Guru becomes even stronger. And he says the purpose Guru takes a physical form is so that he can give his Vani. So the purpose of Guru is Vani. And yeah. And this Vani, there are many instructions, and we follow those instructions. And what is the purpose of Guru? The purpose of Guru is to guide us. But there will be many things that we will do wrong. So regular hearing of Guru will constantly guide us. Don't do this, don't do this. Be afraid of these things. Don't go in this way. Try doing this. And today morning, beautiful Bhagavatam class, and Yugal Kishore Prabhuji was discussing that we should hear with the intent to apply. I like that point very much. That one aspect of hearing is we heard, it's very nice, and we are back to our lives. So if we don't hear with the intent to apply what we are hearing, then then the effect will not be that much. But when we hear to apply, means we heard it and we are like, and then if our attitude while hearing is, I want to practice this, I want to try this principle, then we will very soon go to the stage of pure devotional service. So hearing should be with the intent of applying it. Okay. And then what should be the attitude of disciple? Satisfy spiritual master. This also comes, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado Yasya prasadan nagati kutopi Dhyayam stuvam stasya yashasti sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. When Guru is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Yasya prasadan. When Guru is not pleased, nagati kutopi. One cannot attain. Gati means perfection or goal. Nagati kutopi. One can never attain perfection if Guru is not pleased. And Guru is pleased, Krishna is pleased. And that's why we should remember Guru 3 times every day. And I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. Okay, once again, how should we see our Guru? As good as Krishna, external manifestation of Krishna. What should be our mood? Dasya bhav, great respect and veneration. What should be our dealing with Guru? Is the Guru is meant to give instruction and accept service, and rectify us if we make any mistakes. So hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and how can we reciprocate? We can never reciprocate, but we can make an attempt to reciprocate by sharing what we have received with others. And that's what pleases Sri Guru the most, is when he sees, because like Prabhupada says, who is a Guru? Prabhupada says, Guru is one who is addicted to Krishna. He's addicted to Krishna and he has spontaneous love for Krishna. That is a Guru. The qualification of Guru is whoever knows Krishna is a Guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jai Guru Jai Krishna Tattva hoy, Sai Guru hoy. Whoever knows Krishna Tattva is a Guru. So he's addicted to Krishna. What is Guru's main desire? Guru's main desire is everybody loves Krishna. He wants to promote Krishna. Why? Because he loves Krishna. He's addicted to Krishna. So that's Guru's main desire. Everybody should start loving Krishna. So how can we serve Guru? We serve Guru by fulfilling his desires. Just like what was the desire of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Spread the message of Krishna consciousness. Many devotees helped him. He gave the instruction to Prabhupada, you spread the message all over America. And Prabhupada told all the, what would please Prabhupada? What would please Prabhupada? When devotees are distributing his books, when devotees are opening more and more centers and temples, when devotees are taking to pure devotional service, this is how they would serve Prabhupada. Our different guru, like different spiritual masters in ISKCON, they are doing the same thing, is spreading the message of Krishna consciousness as much as they can in whatever ways they can, far and wide. So that's how, because serving Guru means serving their desire, and the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the entire Guru Parampara is spreading the message. We are missionaries. Like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I have brought from Golok Vrindavan so much fruits of love of Godhead. I have come to distribute love of Krishna to everyone, but there are not many recipients, and I don't want to take these fruits back home. So please help me take these fruits from me and you distribute. So that's how we serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by taking from him what he has given us, and we are becoming his instrument, an instrument of Sri Guru, to share what we have received from him. Obviously, nothing is ours, because nothing is ours. We are also conditions also, what is ours. But then at least, we can receive as it is, and we can pass it on to others. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Bharata Bhumi te hoite hai janmajar, janma sarthakari karo paro upakar. If you have taken birth in a Bharat Bhumi, in India, if you have taken birth in India, then what does Mahaprabhu say? Janma sarthakari karo paro upakar. Perfect your life, and paropkar means help others. Paropkar, and do the same to others. That's how we serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I wish people from all phases of life, Americans, Europeans, Chinese, they all come to Sridham Mayapur and chant the name Jai Sachidanandam Gaura Hari, Jai Sachidanandam Gaura Hari. When will I be able to see that day? This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's desire. He wants to share the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Sundar, all over the world. And he would write books in Bengali, and then he would write book in English, and he would make arrangement to send the book to America, send the book to Europe. The book was found in McGill University in Canada. It was found in Europe. It was found in, I think, one of the major universities in America. Bhaktivinoda Thakur books came in 1896. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was trying. Saraswati Thakur was trying himself to spread in India because so many opposition, and he was giving instruction. He sent his disciple to England. He sent Prabhupada to America. He was constantly trying, and Prabhupada was doing the same thing by pushing his disciples go and distribute books, print books, translate into the local languages, constantly spreading. And our Gurudevs are trying to do the same thing. So this is how we reciprocate with Guru, is first we receive the knowledge, we accept it, we develop faith, we experience it, we taste it. It is described Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with all the associates, they came, they broke open the treasure house of love of God, which was full of love of God. They tasted it, they became ecstatic, and then they started distributing. That's what we are also trying to do, is we are opening the treasure house of love of God, Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. We are tasting it. We want to experience it. We are trying to experience it. and then we are sharing it with others. This is how we serve our Gurudevs, Srila Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and keep going back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is the most prominent feature Srimati Radharani. Karuna Kuru Mai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Very dear to Madhav, Shri Krishna. And she is described as Karuna Karu Mai Karuna Bharite, full of compassion. Full of compassion. And she came, Krishna came in her mood that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what was he doing? What was the instruction Mahaprabhu gave to Nityananda Prabhu? He told Nityananda Prabhu, Prati Ghare Ghare Giya Mange Ei Bhiksha, Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Siksha. Nityananda Prabhu asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how can I serve you? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda Prabhu, what do you do is Prati Ghare Ghare Giya Mange Ei Bhiksha. Go to every home. You are Avadut. You are a sannyasi. I mean, he was not sannyasi, he was Avadut. You are Avadut. So what you have to do is you have to go to every home. Prati ghare ghare gaya. Koi ghar chodo mat. Prati ghare ghare gaya, and you beg. What do you have to beg? When somebody opens the door, you beg them. Bhiksha. Mange a bhiksha. Kya bhiksha? You know, when these avadut they go, they say bhiksham dehi, give me bhiksha. But what is a bhiksha? Mahaprabhu asked Nityananda Prabhu to beg for. Then Mahaprabhu said, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Siksha. Try to understand the instructions of Sri Krishna, which is Bhagavad Gita. Try to chant the name of Krishna and try to worship Krishna. And that's what Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. Become my devotee. Sarva dharma paritaja. Abandon all varieties of religion. Surrender unto me. This is what Krishna want, this is what Mahaprabhu want, this was Nitai would do. And Nityananda Prabhu would say, anybody who is helping me in this mission, he becomes my very life and soul. Bhajo Gaurango, Kaho Gaurango, Lavo Gaurange Namare, Sejana Gaurango Bhaje, Eho Mora Pranare, Bhajo Gaurango, Kaho Gaurange, Laho Gauranga Namare. Whoever worships Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gaurango, Sei Jana Gauranga Bhaje, whoever Vyakti Jana, Sei Jana Gauranga Bhaje, whoever worships Gauranga, Eho Mora Pranare. Chaitanya Prabhu is telling, he is my life and soul. Where worship Gauranga is my life and soul. This is the mood of Nityananda Prabhu. This is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the mood of our Acharyas. Why would Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ask Rupa and Sanatan to write these books? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desires that everybody reads them with the intent of applying, with the intent of transforming their heart and attain perfection. The whole mission is ultimately this is all Krishna's love manifesting through Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our Saraswati Thakur, our Srila Prabhupada, and our Guru Maharaj. And now we have to take on this responsibility. And what should be our mood to take on this responsibility? Servant of what everybody else has done to us. If we have gratitude, if we feel indebted to what we have received, imagine if we would not have received this, then what would we have been? Yadi gaura na hoito, kabe ki hoito. So this is our who wrote this song? I'm forgetting. I think Jagadanda Pandit or Vasudev Datta, I think he wrote. Yadi Gaur na hoite. If Mahaprabhu would not have been there, where would have I been? What would have become of me? Yadi Gaur na hoito. If Gaura was not there, what would have become of me? What would I be doing now? And we can get a glimpse of what I would be doing now by going past few years or few decades. However, you are practicing a few months and seeing where were we and what was our life. And now we have received this. So how do we reciprocate? So the whole mood that is coming on is take on the responsibility. First, taste the fruit. Janma satakari karo paropkar. Taste the fruit and take on the responsibility. So this is sharing the message with others. That's how we serve our Gurudev. Our dealing with our spiritual master is hearing from him and sharing with others. And the attitude of the disciple, what should be our attitude while sharing this knowledge with others is to please our Shri Guru. Very important is to please our Shri Guru. And we have to try doing that. Naturally, the more we become purified, the more these instructions will come to our heart. We will be able to apply this instruction more and more as we progress in our Krishna consciousness. Okay, then serving spiritual master with faith and confidence. My dear Uddhav, the spiritual master must be accepted not only as my representative, but as my very self. So this is from Uddhav Gita, again 11th canto. Lord Krishna is speaking to Sri Uddhav, and he's telling, accept Guru. Accept Guru. Krishna is saying to Uddhav that accept Guru not as my representative, but as my very self. That's why it is described by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur as Pakshadharitva, as external manifestation of Guru. This is very difficult principle for many people to accept, because some people say, I cannot accept, I cannot worship any man. It's a great offense to consider Guru as a man. We will see that. Guru is not a man. Guru is Krishna's saint. Guru is Krishna's manifest potency to bring us back to him. Guru is a via medium by which we go back to Krishna. Like in the beginning, Prabhupada told his disciples, this is the first initiation happening, and Prabhupada told the people who were getting initiated, they said, Prabhupada said, I will give you Diksha, because Prabhupada was dealing with such neophytes who are like Western body and they don't know anything, they don't know the principle of, but Prabhupada wanted to spread the mission, so he had to take this hard task to serve his Shri Guru. And then Prabhupada told his disciples, I will initiate you tomorrow. Then they said, so Prabhupada, what will change after now we are learning from you, now we love you. What will change once we receive initiation from you? So Prabhupada told them, once you receive initiation from me and you officially accept me as Guru, then you should see me as good as Krishna. You should worship me as good as you worship Krishna. So these disciples were shocked. One of the disciple was in hospital. He was sick. The news reached to him, and he said, Prabhupada wants, if you are getting initiated tomorrow, then Prabhupada wants us to worship him as good as we worship Krishna. So they could not digest this principle, because they were, they were neophytes, they were immature, and this voice also comes from Ahankar only. So they have all these vices. So for them, this principle of accepting Guru is very difficult for them, especially Westerns, because they want to be very independent. So this principle was very difficult for them to understand. The more independence we have, the more Ahankar we have, the more difficult it becomes to accept somebody as Guru. So Prabhupada would say that, and they were thinking, so should we get initiated or not? So they all went to Prabhupada and they asked Prabhupada, we love you, we want to accept you as Guru, but then you gave us the instruction that after initiation, you should accept Guru as good as Krishna, and our minds are very much disturbed. So we are coming to you because we are disturbed. Please help us. Tomorrow we are taking initiation. Then Prabhupada explained to them on Guru Tattva and how the importance of accepting a Guru, how to serve the Guru. And Prabhupada explained to them that it's not for myself. I'm not asking you to worship me because I will be benefited. I won't be here also. I'm with all of you now, and I don't know, I will travel and I don't know when will I see you again. It's for your own benefit that you do this, because Krishna is pleased. And Prabhupada would say that I am not here to receive any worship. Whatever worship you offer to me, I give it to my Gurudev. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, this is Guru Parampara. And how this is recommended in scriptures. This is not something that I am speaking. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is from Bhagavad Gita. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Example of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, worshipped Ishwar Puri. And there are various examples from the scriptures. So Prabhupada explained to them, pacified them. Okay, so this is Krishna himself telling to Uddhav, one should see the spiritual master must be accepted not only as my representative, but as my very self. He must never be considered on the same level with an ordinary human being. So this is all from Uddhav Gita. Lord Krishna is telling, don't consider Guru as a man. Prabhupada says it's an offense to consider Guru as a human being, because Guru is not a human being. Because generally human beings are conditioned souls. But Guru is constantly in Goloka Vrindavan, perfectly serving Sri Krishna. Nikunjayuno ratikeli siddhyai ya yali tirapekshani ya tatrati dakshat ativallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Tatrati Dakshan Ativallabhasya. He is expert in Nikunjayena Ratikeli Siddhya, in serving Shri Krishna. He is constantly, one leg of Guru is constantly in spiritual world, serving Shri Krishna very expertly. But because on the instruction of Shri Krishna, he has come down to share this knowledge. Prabhupada said, Krishna asked me to go to earthly planet. Prabhupada said, I told Krishna, I will not go. Krishna said, no, I want you to go. Then Prabhupada said, no, I don't want to go. I will not go. Krishna said, please, you have to go. Then Prabhupada said, all right. Krishna requested me, so I have come here. So he should not be treated, because ordinary human being means, lust, anger, envy, greed, pride, illusion, ahankar, and material desire. This is what a human being is. But Guru is not like that. Yes, Guru, just like Krishna comes in a form, and many people consider Krishna as an ordinary human being, and they became envious of Krishna also, like Duryodhan, Shishupal, Kamsa, and others. But Krishna is not a human being. He is in a form of a human being. He looks like a human being, but he is Swayam Bhagavan. Likewise, his pure devotees are also of transcendental nature. So we don't equate them with a human being. One should never find fault in spiritual master. It is said, don't find fault in Guru, because Guru's activities we cannot understand. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains it is very difficult to understand the activities of Sri Guru. So one should not find fault in Sri Guru. I mean, one should not find fault in any devotees, but specifically one should not find fault in Sri Guru. But the thing is, if we live with Sri Guru, or if we are very much surrounded by Sri Guru, then familiarity develops. And when familiarity develops, then we will see Guru's activities from our consciousness, and we will bring him down to our level, and we'll find fault in him also. It's very, very, very dangerous actually. So like, for example, one time Prabhupada was flying, and at that time, the flights would not have this individual television behind every seat. So for entertainment, this flight would have one common television at the center, where everybody can watch that. So this Prabhupada was flying, many disciples were there, and on the central television, there was a movie of Charlie Chaplin. And they were making some jokes, Charlie Chaplin, and his activities were very funny. So Prabhupada started laughing. And all the disciples of Prabhupada, they were like looking like this and like this. They were like, no, Prabhupada said that we should not watch mundane movies. We should not watch mundane scenes. So they were trying to control their senses. And then they looked at Prabhupada looking at Charlie Chaplin. He's smiling, he's clapping, and they were bewildered. They were like, he's our Guru. He told us not to do. And he's not only looking, he's smiling, he's laughing, and he's doing everything. So they became disturbed. The disciples were like, what should we do? Can we watch? And they were disturbed. So they discussed. Indrananda Maharaj was there. So they ask Indramana Maharaj, can you go and ask Prabhupada, why are you watching Charlie Chaplin? So Indramana Maharaj said, I will not go. I don't have guts, Prabhu. So they were discussing. Nobody has guts to go and question Guru. So one of them said, I will try to make a humble inquiry. So he went. Prabhupada was still laughing, smiling. So this devotee asked Prabhupada, please forgive us, Prabhupada, we have a question. So Prabhupada said, yes, what is your question? So they asked Prabhupada, can we watch movies? Prabhupada said, no, you should not watch movies. then, then Prabhupada understood why they were disturbed. Prabhupada said, don't find fault in Guru. Don't question Guru also. Because there is a difference in our consciousness. Prabhupada said that when I am watching Charlie Chaplin, then I am thinking that Charlie Chaplin has so much humor, and the cause of all humor comes from Krishna. If Charlie Chaplin has so much humor Krishna will have? How humorous Krishna is, how wonderful it will be to be with Krishna. And Prabhupada remembers some of the interaction of Krishna and his devotees, and how joyful and how skillfully Krishna made jokes. And Prabhupada was watching Charlie Chaplin, and Prabhupada was remembering Krishna's pastimes and greatness of Krishna and the humor of Krishna. And Prabhupada became so ecstatic and absorbed in that. But the point is, we cannot understand or judge Guru because the activities of pure devotees are inconceivable. We cannot understand them. But if Prabhupada said, if you watch Charlie Chaplin, then you will become absorbed in Charlie Chaplin. But when I watch Charlie Chaplin, I'll become absorbed in Krishna. That's why till the time we have this spontaneous attraction for Krishna and we have become purified, till that point of time, we follow sadhana bhakti, which is rules and regulations. After a certain point of time, we will just be attracted to Krishna spontaneously. Then rules and regulations are not so important. So that's why whatever activity of spiritual master, we should not judge. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, if anybody find fault in Nityananda Prabhu would sometimes go to bars to preach. He would go to various places. But many people were very disturbed by the activities of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is Avadut. Sometimes he would wear some jewelry and act like a king. So various things Nityananda Prabhu would do, and many people cannot understand. He is in renounced order and he's like Avadut and he's wearing jewelry. How do we understand? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told all the devotees that anybody who finds fault in Nityananda Prabhu will not be able to attain perfection. Don't just Nitai. All his activities are completely transcendental, and likewise of Sri Guru also. So one should never find fault in spiritual master. Then one should not be, and this is the last slide, I just saw it's noon. One should never be envious of the spiritual master as one may be envious of an ordinary man. One should not be envious of spiritual master. Why? How do we become envious of spiritual master? Well, envy can arise for anybody. So we can become envious of others, but at least don't become envious of Guru. Envious of Guru means why he's so advanced, why he has so many disciples, why, and why is everybody respecting Guru? Why? So in that way, one may become envious of Guru. And why one become envious of Guru? Because one may want the opulence of Guru for oneself. So these things may happen if we are not properly situated in our Krishna consciousness, and if we increase our material desires and we start competing with Guru and we start finding fault in Guru, then we will become envious of Guru also. So one has to be careful. Then the spiritual master should always be seen as a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by serving the spiritual master, one is able to serve all the demigods. This again from Uddhav Gita. This is all spoken by Lord Krishna to Uddhav in Uddhav Gita about how one should deal with one's Guru. Okay, 11, 17, 27. Okay, so that's all we discuss. Some little discussion about Sri Guru. Let's see if there is any discussion or any question. Any questions, any discussion?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam, Yadu Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you mentioned in the very starting that in a Guru, all 33 million demigods reside. So, like I've also heard in cow also, like all the demigods reside. So, like, is that the correct information?
So what have you heard in cow? Yes, all the demigods decide about your cow. That is correct. Is that all
So,
you have?
I mean, she's also like uh, can be treated as a guru to us.
Well, we worship her as Mother Prabhu.
Okay.
You know, go puja is there. The day we worship the cows. Every day is good to worship cows. Through worshipping cow, protecting cow, serving cow, we worship all the demigods. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Yatin Prabhu. Anyone has any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Shweta Mataji, Dandal Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that Krishna wanted Prabhupada to go to the material world and preach, but Prabhupada did not agree at the first point. Is it mentioned in any of the books, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Prabhupada, this is an interaction of Prabhupada with one of his devotees. Prabhupada told to one of his disciples. You can search for Prabhupada conversation, asking Krishna asked me, and Prabhupada says, no, I don't want to go to this place. But Prabhupada himself said that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm unable to understand this, but still, okay.
Well, like these pure devotees, their relationship with Krishna, their interaction with Krishna is on a very different platform. In a way, it's very intimate, it's very personal, it's very real. Like one person asked Prabhupada, have you seen Krishna? Prabhupada said, if I say yes, will you believe me? So the reporter did not have an answer because Prabhupada was telling, if I say yes, will you believe me? So this reporter didn't answer. Prabhupada said, that's why it doesn't matter. But if you chant Hare Krishna, you will be able to see Krishna. It's because Prabhupada would not say such things because he doesn't know how people will receive it. But at some point of time, Prabhupada will reveal it. But it is safe to assume, because we have been growing in our Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says, once you become pure devotee, you will have a personal darshan of Krishna. These things may be kind of how, we may have some question or belief in that, but at some point of time, it will become a reality for us if we have Vashi Guru and Krishna.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank
Is
you
it
so
okay?
much. Yeah, yes,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Because like in Prabhupada Leelamrita also, definitely Prabhupada would have greater eternal credits with which he carried on. But like starting from his childhood, how he was involved in the deity worship, Ratha Yatra, and spiritual progressively. So, but when it comes to the beginning, when Krishna wanted Prabhupada to come to the planet, so that's why I'm in a very conditioned stage, Prabhuji. Couldn't understand all these things. That's why I asked. Sorry, the question was wrong.
I mean, I'll tell you one more thing, Mataji. Like, these are associates of the Lord, but when they come, they are covered by Yoga Maya potency and they forget. And then they are reminded, and then they reawaken their original state immediately. When the Lord himself showed by his own example, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he was acting like a scholar, and he would argue, he would not be with devotees. And then when he got accepted, or when he kind of accepted Ishwar Puri, then he reawakened his Radha Bhav immediately. And another example is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was looking at Christianity, he was looking at these Nyaya Shastras and other, and he was just exploring all the Vedic scriptures. He was eager, he was acute kind of seeker. And then when he came in contact with Chaitanya Charitamrita, he reawakened his original position. So when even pure devotees, when they descend, or when the Lord descends many times, they become covered just because they want to emphasize the importance of accepting a spiritual master and how one is reinstated. Like Lord Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, that wherever we left off, we begin from there in a previous life, but then it has to be ignited by a representative of the Lord. And in our own life also, we may be very forgetful and may be very absorbed in materialistic activities at some point of time in the past. But when we come in contact with devotees, we begin from where we left off in our lives also. So the general principle is true. Is that okay?
Yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You know, there are very interesting things about Prabhupada. So I cannot share because otherwise it creates questions. Oh, really? Really like that. But yeah, Prabhupada is a Nitya Parshad devotee. He is described in one of the book. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that my Senapati will come, who will take this message across the 7 oceans. And that Senapati, obviously the person who took the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu across the 7 nations, Srila Prabhupada. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself predicted, my Senapati will come, who will take the message across the 7 oceans. There are many, many references, although the name specifically is not mentioned, but from the activity. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we know him through his activities. His name is not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, but through his activities, we know that who is the person who is glorifying Krishna, coming with his associates, spreading the Sankirtan, who is Krishna but not in blackish form. Obviously, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed himself at many instances, at many places. But then if we, no names are mentioned, but then we understand from the activity, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Likewise, there are many things about Prabhupada. It is said that 3 things are necessary if we want to attain perfection. One is accepting Srila Prabhupada is pure devotee of Krishna, accepting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna, and Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anybody who has faith in these 3 things, Prabhupada is pure devotee of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna Swayam Bhagavan, they will attain Vrindavan in this life. If one practices with faith these 3 things. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Jai Shri
Mansi
Prabhupada.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, is it okay to chant Krishna's prayer multiple times a day, like Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Deen Bandhu Jagat?
Yeah, why not? Yes, definitely. There is something like either we can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is called Japa. There is also something called Mantropasana. Mantropasana means is a form of meditation. We can meditate on many things. One of the meditation we can do is on any verse. Like for example, you are walking and you may be thinking Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Shanam Raja Mamekam Shanam Raja Mamekam Shanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarva Papabhyo Mokshishami Namasucha. Or you may be sleeping and some verse may come. Or in a humble mood, you are praying somewhere, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. So whatever, any form of scripture you are remembering, it's called Mantropasana. And it's a very bona fide form of meditation.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Anything else? Any
Hare
other
Krishna,
discussion?
Prabhuji.
Srila Dhamata, Hare Krishna.
Dhanvat Pranam, Prabhuji. So there will be one person who must be showing this path to introduce the path to us, right? So will they also be considered as guru?
Yeah, Mataji, I was hearing you, but there was lack of clarity in your words, so I could not really understand. Can you try again?
Yeah. So for me, let's say for example, for me, it was new thing before like couple of years, right? So until I came for the first Bhakti Vriksha, this concept of Krishna consciousness was entirely new for me. So there should be one person from whom Krishna would give mercy to us, so that we can introduce to this path, right? So will that person would also be considered as guru?
Yeah, okay, thank you. The person who brings us to the first program, he is considered as Path Pradaksha Guru, or one who shows us path. Then where we receive knowledge is Siksha Guru, who gives us initiation is Diksha Guru. They are all gurus, Guru Tattva. Yet at the same time, there are principles of how much respect and how much indebtedness we are to different levels of Guru. That's a different discussion. But are they all Guru? Yes. Because what does Guru means? Guru means who brings us to Krishna. And various personalities at different point of time brings us to Krishna. Everyone who is helping us to come to Krishna is in some form of, in one form or another, he's a guru. Anywhere we are hearing, they all become a Siksha Guru, but then there is preeminent Siksha Guru, which is Srila Prabhupada. And how much reciprocation we have for each personality varies. Like the purpose of Siksha Guru is to increase our faith and worship in our Diksha Gurus. That's the purpose of Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru is happy when he sees that the person is very dedicated to Diksha Guru. So in that way, different roles and responsibilities, but they are all considered as Guru. And Guru is like a big, big umbrella. Many personalities like it. Does that answer?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Any other discussion? All right, wonderful. So, dear Prabhujis and Matajis, very grateful to all of you for joining. My obeisances to all of you. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all very much. If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as a humble servant. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very
Dandavat
much.
pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.